and welcome back to Silver Edition. My name is Sarah and I am here with Jenna, and you are a librarian, correct?
I am.
Awesome.
Yes.
Good start, good start. So, we're just going to start off right with the questions.
Yeah.
Could you just tell us a little bit about yourself as a person? What's your personal background that you would like to share with the viewers?
Sure. So I work at the Monona Public Library. My job is, my title is the Adult Services Librarian. So I work primarily with planning events and programs and other library services for adults in the community. But we all try to just stay really flexible and flow in and out of whatever projects and needs there are. My background, I grew up in South Dakota, so I'm like a Midwest gal, and have been in Madison area for almost 15 years.
Wow, cool.
So, yeah.
So I think you like it, right?
I do. I really do.
Good.
Yeah.
Glad to hear it.
Yeah.
When and why did you decide that you wanted to be a librarian?
Sure. So I came to it later than a lot of people in kind of a roundabout way.
Yeah.
I don't have a background in literature or history, which is fairly common in the profession. I, out of high school, went to college and ended up with a degree in graphic design and worked in nonprofits for quite some time, mostly focusing on environmental issues. And then as time went on, got more and more into community engagement and program planning and fundraising, and was at a point where I kind of needed to either really decide that's what I was going to focus in on, or I needed to shift gears a bit. And so I started thinking about the types of work that I really found fulfilling, and it was all about being engaged within a community in times where I was able to match community needs and interests with resources. So I started thinking about, well, who does that consistently? And it's libraries.
There we go.
So that is how I got there. I was not the kid that loved going to the libraries when I was young. I went because my mom and my brother were going and I needed to go with them. So I was a little reluctant. My family thinks it's hilarious that I'm a librarian, but I really do love it. So.
Hey, it works for you, you know?
Yeah.
Well, we're glad that you like it.
Well, thank you. Yeah, me too.
What are some of your job responsibilities as an adult services librarian rather than, someone who would work primarily with children, anything like that?
Yep. So I plan programs and kind of educational opportunities for adults. Also get to do some fun things. We have like a monthly, we've been calling it Creative Quarantine. So It started at the beginning of the pandemic and we have met every month online to do different kind of art projects.
That's super
and so
cool.
It's, it's not literature related, but it has been a really great community. To kind of be able to gather every month in a time where we've all kind of been a little bit more isolated. So that's been really great. We do lectures on all sorts of topics. So that's the big thing, but I also get to do other things within the library. Anytime you go in and you see displays, that's probably something I've had my hands on.
Awesome.
We just added a bunch of board games to the collection, and so that was a project that I was able to work on. So sometimes there's things that kind of pop up that we just get going with.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. It's super cool to see all the different ranges of how not only library things like reading and everything like that, but games, like you said, art, all that kind of stuff. Just gives another reason for people to go and check out the library. So, what's your most favorite part of the job? If you could do it every day, you would. And then what's the one thing that you're just oof, I don't know about that.
So the favorite and the least favorite are kind of the same thing for me.
I mean, yeah.
So I love that every day is different, right? There's variety and you have some sense of predictability and routine, but you never know, who's going to come in and what they're going to need and how you're going to be able to help them.
Yeah.
And most days that is incredibly exciting. There are other days where it can be really challenging, right? When you're I have all of these things I need to do, but it's what we do is help people, right? What we do is help the community find the information that they need. And so some days that's incredibly exciting, and other days it can be challenging. So.
Yeah, just unpredictability, I'm sure. It's just all over the place. What is it like being a librarian, especially during the pandemic, with no one in the library?
Sure, yeah. So I started in Monona about 5 months before the pandemic started, so I've had way more time in pandemic mode than in non-pandemic mode. So it's been really interesting. We are constantly changing how we do or how we've been delivering services, right? And so we were closed for a long time where folks couldn't come in, but we've been there, and we transitioned as much as we could into curbside, and all of our programs went online, and so we've kind of been redesigning how we do what we do a few different times. And we still offer curbside for folks that are more comfortable doing that. That's a great option, but for the most part, we're back to operating as we were before. And the last transition that we're making is moving back to in-person programs. And so we are making that move
For
now.
sure.
So
Good to know. Is the Monona Public Library back at full capacity since the mask mandate has gone away?
lifted, yep. So yes, we don't require masks. We recommend, we work with all ages, right? And so we have folks coming in that are under 5 that can't be vaccinated. We also have, older folks that are higher risk. So we recommend masks, but it's entirely optional.
Yeah, good to know.
Yeah.
Are there any really cool events or things that you would shameless plug for people to come and check out at the library?
I happen to bring some items.
What a coincidence.
So in May we're going to kick off an all ages community read. So a community read is usually for, you pick one book and give away a ton of copies and get everyone to read it, hopefully, and then do programs and book discussions and all of that. So we're doing it all ages style. So we have, for adults, how to be an anti-racist. So anti-racism is the topic that we're kind of diving into.
Good topic.
Thank you. Yeah, I didn't think of it. But so for adults, Ibram X. Kendi's How to Be an Anti-Racist. For teens and tweens, this book is Anti-Racist. It's a journal. It's kind of a journal style by Tiffany Jewell. And so it's very action-oriented. And then for youth and family, we have Our Skin, First Conversations About Race.
Super cool.
So kind of just the recognition that no matter what your age is, where you're starting in this learning, it's important to do, and we want to provide a place to do that. So May 14th is our big kickoff event. It's happening by the Dream Park, kind of in the Grove that's just past there.
Yeah.
We're going to have a band, we're going to have speakers, everyone's invited.
We'll
be giving away a bunch of books. And then through the summer, we'll have book discussions and different programs for, I talked with Tiffany, our wonderful teen and tween librarian, earlier today. And she wanted me to highlight, and I think this is wonderful. We've been working with the ArtLit Lab, which is an organization in Madison, and they're very focused on creating spaces where creativity and community can kind of flourish. And they're very focused on prioritizing BIPOC, LGBTQ voices, those underrepresented artists and voices, right? And so they are going to be helping us out with a zine workshop, and so it's kind of like this subversive, publication style that came out of the punk era, and so that's going to be really, really great. And yeah, all ages. We're going to have all sorts of stuff. So.
Sounds super cool.
Everyone's
you said
invited.
May 14th, right?
May 14th.
May
That's
14th.
our big kickoff.
Better see a lot of people there
I hope so.
from watching the show.
Yeah.
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
Are there any opportunities, I know you already spoke about kind of what's happening, but any other opportunities at the library for more teenagers and youth to get involved?
Sure. Yep. So we have, there are a number of monthly programs. There's a makerspace program. There have been some gaming programs, stuff like that. But one thing that I want to mention is we have a teen volunteer program for the summer. And so I think applications are maybe, the application window might start next week.
Oh, cool.
And so it's a great way to learn more about how libraries operate, how we do programs, and help support that. And really good opportunity to kind of build some skills and think about the resume and that sort of thing too. And so I think applications open very soon and it's open through mid-May. So
cool. Yeah. So that's for people, whether they want to go into library sciences or something like that, or just something, for just life experience. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. And so it's in a library for sure, right?
Yeah,
but it's developing a lot of kind of those skills that are going to be really useful on a resume as you move forward and kind of go into the next phases. So.
Yeah, just good things to know.
Good things to know. Yeah.
Okay, and then is there anything else that you would just like to kind of tell viewers at home? Any favorite books, anything like that?
Yeah. So I mentioned that I wasn't the traditional, librarian track, and I really didn't come around to kind of reading for fun until after college. But one thing that's been really steady is like, I love stories.
Yeah.
And for some people, that comes through books. For some people, it's audiobooks or graphic novels. Sometimes it's through people, right, and other things. And so I think that that's a big thing about libraries. Like, we aren't only books, that is a mainstay of what we will always do. But we're really about kind of understanding how we can reflect the community and help the community grow. We talk about windows and mirrors. And so in everything we do, we want people to be able to see themselves in the books in our collection, in the programs that we do. We also want to help everyone see through a window, right? And see another experience, understand something that's outside of themselves. And so that, I think, is just one of the most exciting things. And I can give you some favorite books, but they're all about when I read the right book at the right time.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
The experience that goes along with it.
Yeah. So just keep trying things out.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you so much for being here. Make sure to pop by Monona Public Library and possibly see Jenna here. It'd be a great experience. And you said May 14th.
May 14th.
The event. Pop by, see what's going on.
Kick off at the Dream Park.
Exactly, right there, there. I'm sure you can find more information on the website, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so just go to Monona Public Library, go to the website. You can find all the information there. Other than that, I think we are good, and thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. You're welcome back anytime.
Thank you.
And that's it for today's Silver Edition. Thanks for watching.